Peace talks on the horizon in Syria, rebels on the verge of defeat. So only one thing for Assad to do: gas innocent people. Obviously.
Really, nigga?
Assad got framed like graduation photos. It's not even about taking sides, it's just facts. He was already winning. You know when a man's got nothing to gain from all of this. But you might want to think about who does, and then the last 15 years might start to make sense to you. Assad, backed by Russia and Iran, were on the front foot. Gassing innocent people would have been career suicide. Media out here trying to take man for David Moyes. This ain't about peace. It's about the destabilization of the Middle East, regime change, and money. Fact. Just like Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya, they use the same bait tactics to get public support. And this is by no means condoning the shit that Assad has done or is doing. But if you don't smell bullshit, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. America's like, Assad's gassing innocent women and children, we gotta go save them. What, the same innocent women and children that are would-be refugees that you refused entry to your country? Them ones. Am I a prick? Just like Saddam had WMDs, fam. Only thing that brother had was a dodgy tash and disturbingly thick eyebrows. Them lot stay telling lies. Osama bin Laden, this big threat, 2 Tuesdays captured and buried at sea. Fam, if your fish died, you wouldn't bury it at sea. You know them ones where there's no proof man's actually dead? For all we know, bin Laden weren't his real name and he weren't even a Muslim. Fully could have just shaved his beard and now he's boss man at your local chicken shop. They fling out this bullshit propaganda every time to get public support so they can go and spend billions on war. Billions! Meanwhile, the fucking NHS is falling apart and certain parts of America ain't even got clean water, fam. Are you high? Meanwhile, the US government fired nearly 50 million worth of missiles at Syria. Calm 50 million. Just a bit of change man had in the ashtray. Funny how when the news was broken, it was by US and UK government funded sources. They're mugging off everyone. Boris Johnson, that swollen gravy sweating dickhead, come out saying all evidence points to Assad. And then called for a thorough investigation into his use of chemical weapons. Hold on, so if there's been no investigation, how you got evidence, you fat prick? US, UK and Israel are using ISIS to kill innocent people and justify invading Syria and removing Assad. Just like they did in Iraq.
Simples.
Yep, the same Israel that the US just signed a $38 billion military aid deal with. You think that money's coming out of thin air? There's a shitload of oil reserves and opium in Syria, the same shit they ran up in Afghanistan for. US government stay flooding the streets with heroin, fam. How else do you think it gets in the country? How many drug dealers you know with their own aeroplane? Maybe a BMW? Assad's killing innocent people, but instead of helping them escape, let's drop some more bombs and kill even more innocent people. How's that for logic? False flag. The US, the UK and Israel trying to stop peace talks, dethrone Assad by any means and bleed Syria dry, fam. You think these men really care about civilians? Say they do kill Assad, then what? You gonna leave ISIS and Al Qaeda to run Syria? That's like curing a man of chlamydia, then giving him HIV instead. Are you mad? Either way, them man couldn't give a fuck. They'll take what they want and then leave the place in turmoil. Just like they did in Iraq, Afghanistan and Libya. And if you want to go back further, the whole continent of Africa before that. Them man ravaged Africa and the Middle East is next. The West only go in to help when there's money to be made. Them man are mercenaries. ISIS, Al Qaeda, them man there, they are not soldiers of Islam. They are UK, US and Israeli rent boys, fam. If they're fighting in the name of Islam, why the fuck they mainly killing Muslims? You know when it just don't make any sense? Would they not be in Palestine trying to save the Muslims from the Zionists instead? Mad thing is, a few days before Chemical Gate, Assad said the foreign-backed terrorists in Syria were fighting on the behalf of Israel. He said Israel share objectives with the UK, the US, France, Turkey, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Then as soon as the US wage war in Syria, Turkey, Israel and Saudi Arabia come out in support of them arse clowns. Them 3 countries there are to human rights what Harold Shipman was to the NHS. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, 3 Muslim countries that just so happened to be missing from the list when the US were trying to impose that Muslim ban. That wasn't no fucking Muslim ban. It was a ban on countries that the US are fucked over or they're planning to fuck over. Them men are just trying to cover their backs in case of some revenge attacks. Iran and Syria were on the list though. And not only are Iran and Syria helping them fight America, I mean ISIS, but they want Iran's oil too. They've had military bases surrounding them from early. Yemen was on the list too, And the war there just happened to be backed by US-funded Saudi weapons. You know when the shit's just hidden in plain sight, fam. But what, some of you lot still think this is about chemical weapons, yeah? But when Israel were, and probably are, still using chemical weapons on innocent Muslims, it was all... The 9/11 terrorists were from Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, and Lebanon. But none of those countries were on the blood clot list. You know why? The US knew it was just a one-off, because they set the whole thing up, mate! Rants and bants, make sure you like the vid, share the vid, tag your friends, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Add the Snap, add the Twitter, add the Insta, all of that, all of that, all of that.